Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this amazing flower. And it's very shabby chic and pretty easy to make. Nicola Mason and I have been chatting quite a bit, and we decided to have a hop collab and include a bunch of women that are amazing, talented artists, and see how we can all come up with some ideas how to make different various flowers. So this is what I came up with, and we're going to make one together here today. I brought a bunch of laces and all different things that I thought we could use, and I want to try to see if I can create a little something different from this one. So what we're going to do first is, I have a pretty decent piece of cardstock here. You can use really any type of cardstock you want, and you want to find some type of circle. So we're going to trace around this circle, and then we're going to cut it out, and this is going to be the base to our flower, and we're going to build up our flower and glue everything on here. So you want a glue gun for that, and just a bunch. I have, like I said, I pulled out a bunch of different things. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this circle, and I actually decided to do 2 circles, and I want it just to be a little bit thicker. This wasn't as thick as I really first thought it was. I want it to be thick enough, and this circle is just the base. You're not going to see it, so don't go too crazy cutting it perfectly. Whoops. So that's going to be the base of it. There, so now we have our base together. So this, see if I was right. This one's about 2 3/4 long. You could do a 2-inch, you could do a 3-inch. I'm just doing it larger so you guys can see it better. You do use a lot of glue with this, so you probably want to keep your glue gun sticks handy. So I have this base part here is actually silk, this silk fabric. And then I used this, I don't even know what it's called. I'm not sure I'm going to use this. It's kind of thin, and it doesn't have any body to it, and you really can't melt it. I melted the silk. So next what we want to do, I just cut a strip and I made it, and this is totally uneven, as you can tell. So you want a nice base for these flowers. So basically this is, I don't even know. I don't even think it's a yard long. Yeah, about 24 inches long. All right, so now you're gonna just fold this, is what you're gonna do. And you want them to be somewhat fat. I'd say maybe 1 inch, or petals, to be able to go around, and you'll see, go around your base. I'm thinking this is almost way too thick, and I'm gonna cut it, because this is, I think, 3-inch thickness here. So that's pretty thick. So let's trim this down. So now you have what would be probably about 2-inch thick. You want it to look like a petal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna round this, but you want to start halfway. And my petals were so funny before. They were kind of crazy looking. Like these, they're kind of crazy looking. But it all works out, you'll see. And you can go back and trim them after. So then what I do is I take my flame. You need to be so careful when you do this. I should even have water nearby in case I burn it. So let's see if I can do this. You don't want to do this when they're together because they'll stick together. You want to take it so your silky side is facing up, and hold a little piece up because you want it to go in this direction. And this is going to give you that look on your leaf. I'm not as close to the flame, whoops, as you'd think I am. That all done, and you can see what it did, and some of it left a little black on the corners, but I'm okay with that. You guys just be super careful when you do it. So we have 13 and a half petals. The next step is what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue gun. I'm trying not to hit that camera. I gotta find another way to do this because it's right literally above me. Next, we're going to take our silk, and you want to make sure the silky side is up. It's right side up. And then we're going to just take our first one and anchor it down. Okay? Then we're going to take just our next one, and we're going to fold it up and around. And we're going to put a little bit underneath to hold that. And you got to be careful because this is hot too. So then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. We're basically just going to work our way around. Close to the end here, and you want to prop these up so they do look like petals, and I just kind of push them so they stand up a little bit, and I put a little glue underneath. So here's the very end piece, and I'll show you how I finished it off the last time I did it, but I have some extras. So I just might take it and bring it around again as much as I can, that is, just to give it some depth. This time I might not pull it like I did. I'm going to try to put it so they're in between the other ones. And don't forget, we're not going to see this inside. We're only going to see the outside, see? So we're just setting our base, our ground floor. So now can you see we have the base? So you may want to go back and just fill with your glue. Just fill it where you think you need it. And we're going to be adding a lot of glue on here anyways. But you don't want these folds to unfold on you. So now we got to figure out what our next layer is going to be. The last one I did, I just used this right here. And all I did, this is my lace, and I cut a strip of it, and I have it in all different colors. And I think it actually was even too thick when I did it before, because I ended up giving it a haircut. So what you want to do is I cut some squares like this. We got to see if we want to add another layer of petals, which I think we might do. Let's see what we have here. I have this, which we can add as well. And this we could gather as we go. I think I'm going to do that. So let's try that out. I'm just going to leave it on here. Of this, and I didn't need to do a whole another row. And the one good thing about glue is you can, the glue gun, we can always pull it, I can unglue it and pull it forward. And that's what I think I'm going to do a little bit here, because it's a little bit further out than I like it. How's that? All right, so our next step will be, I mean, you could, if you really wanted to, do another row of this, but I think I'm gonna stick to not doing another row. And we're gonna cut these squares up. And we're gonna put these squares in just like this. Gonna have a bunch of square layers. I like this too, but I don't know if it matches too well. No, not at all. Because this would be another great type that you could use to go around, another type of lace. You know what, just because the outside may match. This ribbon might not match. But the inside, if that makes sense, the outside might be okay, but I don't know if I like that standing up so much. All right, let's move along. So you fold these pieces, and you don't have to fold them evenly, and you kind of just work your way around. Take some pieces, work your way around. And this stuff is great for these. I really like it. I'll get a smaller piece. Not that it really matters. So do you see now our flower forming a little bit? So let's put this down. So I have these, and I don't even know where I got them from. They're all petals. And I'm gonna add these to the center as well. I'm gonna have to do some research and see if I can find more of these. I really like them. They come on ribbon. So what I tried to do is cut some ribbon, but I don't know, it kind of clustered itself a little bit. Let's see if I can do that again. So I cut a piece of ribbon. So let's just do it like this. Put it on in there. Then we can worry about opening these after, I guess. Maybe that was the easiest thing to do. There we go. And I'll do 2 layers of these. One just didn't seem like enough. So here are some extra petals that I have here, and I try to stagger them. This thing still looks crazy, but when I add that centerpiece, it looks pretty cool. I gotta look for more of this. I don't know if I can even just add this. Yeah, I could. There we go. And I just pushed these out just a little where it seemed like it needed a few. Here is the kicker. That one's a little big. Pulled a few things out. We could add something like this to the center. That doesn't really match. That's pretty. I thought of this one. Kind of like that. And then I have one that that's a little bit smaller. That's actually pretty too. But if I did a little smaller, I probably would add something, another layer somewhere. I just think it needs something else if I did smaller. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's try this. This one is cut kind of funny. There we go, we could do that. Let me see if I can find, I've got so much stuff here. Let's see, what's this one? It's kind of thick, but that may fill that hole a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty cute. Yeah. I still think I'd like the outside to be a little larger. I like this, but I kind of wish it was just a hair larger. See how that is? I like that a little better. If we push that down, we'll have that effect like a flower. This one too, it's already shaped like a flower. I think I like it. So let me glue that down. And that's a button, so that'll go right inside there. And just do this. Pop the button through the hole and go right around and push it right in. And there you have it. It's another way to make a shabby chic flower. And I think I might even take this off and add some lace under there. And then what you can do after is I went around and you can trim the edges a little bit if you feel that they're a little, like this one's a little long. And then if you had some green, you could put some green leaves too under it. as well. I would take some leaves and put them on the side. So what do you think? So I just kind of heat up the glue under there. That's how I do it. So I had a hard time taking the glue up, so I'm just cutting around and putting them. So now I think this needs some more points. So this, I put this on top and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I just wish I could get that off. It would make life so much easier, but I put so much glue on it that it's not possible. There we go. I like it. Then what I do is I just take them and scrunch them up. And that gives it more character. And our first layer is going to be this. I used a silk, and I wanted to try using a thick silk ribbon. So you want to cut, let's see, maybe, I don't know how many inches this is. 18 inches maybe, roughly. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just fold it. Just keep folding it, just like this. And then you want to take it and you want to create some petals. So to create the petals, you just round it. And you want to leave them so they're all attached. And I'll show you. Let's see if I can get this to look like petals. And it all works out. They all look like petals once you're done, because we're going to burn the edges and under a flame. There. And this is a little straggler, so I'm just gonna get rid of that one. So we have, this is how we have it looking. And we can go back and fix it at any time. 10 petals here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna light my flame, and we're gonna be real careful, and we're gonna burn them. You know, I'm gonna use my candle for that. What I wanted to say too is when you get this singed, it's still palatable to move. So if you feel that your petal is curling under too much, you can move it up when it's warm. Just be super careful you don't burn your fingers, because it is hot. Okay, so I have my petals done. And you can see they created like a petal. also have several things that we can add. We can even make this our next layer, which I think I'm going to do. And this is already pleated, so there's not much we have to do to this except just lay it down. Each one you kind of want to go in a little bit, so you want to work inward so your bottom petals, you can still see them. And we'll just attach that. Let's trim that. So now you have the base of this. I like how that's sitting there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there. And a lot of times I'll use my tip of my glue tool, my glue gun, just to secure there. So the next part we're going to add, we're going to cut some pieces off. And we're going to just add some in the center. So now our next plant, well, we can add a few more too. Stack it up. Yeah, I like that. So we're gonna do it the way we did it before. We're just gonna glue the back, separate these, and put it down. So now I have my little doilies. And they look so cool in the center. Let's see what we like here. I don't know. I think this might be a little too pink. That's not too bad. I think I want something more, a little more simple here. And what I did on the other one is I added two. I can do that too. I can do this and then kind of kitty corner this. And see how that makes that really pop? I like that. Or we have this too. Not crazy about that small. It's kind of cool. Might be too big. If we did this. I like that. That's it. What do you think? And oh, here's a real super small one. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. No, I don't think that really makes much of a difference. I do like another size though. You could always do something like this and just put a simple, real simple little in the center. This is just endless. It needs to be built out a little more. See this, if we did something like this, it's not big enough. You know what else you could actually do? You could actually put a big doily under it if you wanted to as well, and just give it an extra layer, an extra layered look. So I found this doily right here. And let me take it out and show you. We can always trim it a little bit once we have it glued down. And I think that's what we'll end up doing, trimming it a little bit. Just because it's a little. So let me glue that down. And then I'll show you how to give it a haircut. Okay, so this is the way it looks. And then what I go through is I just kind of trim. Just want a little bit of this peeking out. And if you see any of these petals that you don't like, you can go in and trim those as well. I just wanted a little bit of this just for the texture. So there you have it. Squish. Just to give it more of a flowery look. There. So what do you think? These are the 3 that I made. Which one is your favorite? So my husband and I ventured out today, and we hit Hobby Lobby. I didn't bring my credit card, so I had to bring him in. And I got these leaves, and I wanted to see if they'd look good. I probably need heavy cutters for these, but we'll see. Oh no, they didn't cut too bad. I wanted to see if they would look good underneath my flowers. And it was funny, I was kind of embarrassed buying them because they're ugly, all in a bunch like this, but you know, I think those are gonna look cute. I just have to glue them down just like that. So I'm gonna go glue them down on the bottom. Oh, and I wanted to show you too, I found this. It's 5 feet of glue stick. So it's a continuous glue stick that sits in here. So I'm gonna give this a try. It was only $2.29 at Hobby Lobby. It says cut to a length, but I'm gonna just leave it and see if I can work with it, because I get tired of constantly cutting it. So I'll check that out. There. And there are my 3 flowers with the leaves on the bottom. These might be a little bit too big. I can always take them off and move them in further. But they're kind of cute. So I ended up moving the leaves. I just felt like they were peeking out a little too much. I didn't want them to be out that far. They don't need to be. It's just to add a little bit of color, and even still, I think this might be out a little too far. I might fix it. So I like that, how it's just peeking out on the sides. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching my video. If you like my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give me the thumbs up. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.